Hi, today I'm going to talk to you about a rough estimate of what it's going to cost you to have a van build with a single double bed like mine, the two beds. Now, some of these things you will not need. Um, so this is a rough estimation. This is 2020. It's February 2nd. I know I uploaded a couple of videos earlier. But a lot of people are probably wondering how much it's going to cost to actually build up a van to where you can stay in it and have power, things like that. Now, I did not get everything, such as water jugs. You can find them various places, 6-gallon jugs, such and such. You can use empty 2 liters. You can use, cleaned out milk jugs. This is the main stuff, okay? And some of this stuff you may or may not use. So I'm going to run through everything. 300 watts of solar with the charger controller, the brackets, nuts and bolts, and the wire. This is $345. Alright, I'm going to give you a breakdown at the end of things I missed, like the microwave I did not add. That would be around $50 at Walmart. And some of these things you can find other places, or you may even have some of this stuff at home. Alright, the reason I only looked for the cap and not the one with the hose is the one with the hose is like $24. This is the battery box air vent kit without the hose, because I would be using PVC pipe on this. So I wouldn't need the hose anyway. It's $11.65. Now here is what you're going to need. This is a 5-lot for 2-AUG 3/8 hole terminal lug, ends. I'm getting 3 of these. Each one of these has 5. So basically I'm getting 15 of these, and the reason being is if you're getting batteries and you're going to make your own cables, you will need some of these for your cables as well as your hookup in your vehicle. That will be $22.05 for 15 of these. Okay? Now this you may not need. This is an expense that you may do without. If you're willing to drill a hole in the top of your van, you will not need this. This is a full-size crossbar ladder rack, 500-pound capacity. Now this is $80.10. So if you're willing to drill a hole in the top of your van and silicone it and everything else you need to do, make sure it doesn't leak, then you will not need this expense. So this would be $80.10 off of the total if you don't need it. Once again, this is a little water pump, somewhat like the one I have. You don't have to have this. It just makes it a little bit easier to have a jug there. You can drop the pump on, hit the button, and it pumps the water out. If you're willing to just pour your water out of like a 2-liter bottle or a gallon jug, you will not need this. This is another expense you won't need. And it's $8.54 for this one. This you will need, okay? This is an A&L fuse holder, and this one comes with a fuse. It comes with a 150 amp fuse. You will need this for between your battery and your inverter, okay? And it's $7.97. A lot of this stuff is off eBay. Some is off of Walmart. I'll go through and tell you which is which. But you have to have a fuse before your inverter, as close to the batteries as you can. Now this is 30 foot of 2-gauge welder cable, 15 foot of red, 15 foot of black. That's all you need. In fact, it depends on where your battery pack is going. You may not even need 15 foot of each. It's $54.99 for this. Like I said, this is today. I've had my wire quite a while, a couple of years now. So, the price has gone up a little bit. It's $54.99. So that's basically 30 feet of 2-AUG wire. 15 red, 15 black. You'll definitely need that. A hammer crimper. Now you don't necessarily have to have a hammer crimper if you have a way to crimp the terminals, or if you know someone that can help you crimp the terminals. You can actually use a vise to crimp the terminals with. So if you know someone with a vise that's willing to help you out, you don't need this. It's another expense. But if you're doing this on your own and you have no help with it, this is definitely something you'll need. It's $15.97. And once you use some of this stuff, you probably will never use it again. But you definitely have to have your terminals crimped tight to make sure they don't short out or anything or overheat. This is heat shrink tubing. You will need this. Or instead of heat shrink, you can always just wrap it with a bunch of electrical tape, and that'll take care of that. So once again, this is $6.49. So you really don't need the heat shrink, especially if pretty much everything is inside. But like I said, you can use electrical tape. Now this is the power brine inverter that I have, 1100 watts. It's $99.99, and this is from AutoZone.com or AutoZone. And you can tell it will run the 700 watt microwave, even though it kicks out 1150 watts. So you definitely need an inverter to power some stuff. This is a good little inverter. Puts out quite a bit of power. Now here is where you're going to run into a little bit of money. These are Start Deep Cycle Power 27 DC 750 MCAs. These are $81.67 each. Okay, it's $187.34 for 2 batteries, and you will definitely need 2, and the core charge on those batteries. Depends on where you're at. Excuse me. The core charge where I'm at is $12 per battery. So if you don't have batteries to take in, it's going to be an extra $24 from the price. And that brings it up to $187.34. Once again, this is not a necessity. You can buy some really cheap totes. This is what we're going to use for washing our dishes. 2 of them are $19.90 for both of them. And like I said, if you can find a sink or something, hey, great. That's entirely up to you what you want to do. This is a toilet seat cover, okay? There are other ways to do this. Instead of buying one of these, you can go buy some insulation, pipe insulation, and just stick that on top and tape that on top of a 5-gallon bucket. Like I say, you don't have to have this. You can find cheaper things to actually make instead of just buying this. A 5-gallon bucket, $2.96. You can actually use a couple 5-gallon buckets for your drain water, or, you know, I would not store your drinking water in this. There are other ways to store that. This is just for the bathroom in an emergency situation. And what you do is you put something around the top. You can look all over online for that, and put trash bags in it, and like kitty litter or something in there. After you use your business, you tie up the trash bag and drop it in the bottom, and just put another trash bag over it. And then once it fills up, you can dump that into a trash bag and just dump everything. Once again, you don't have to have this if you're not interested in having any type of bathroom in your vehicle. But having something for an emergency, it's probably a good idea. Alright, these are not the shelves I have. These are from Walmart. These are 22 inches wide, 14 deep by 48 inches high. And I figured 3 of these would be plenty of storage. You can always put plastic on the sides. You can put cardboard on the sides and the back. To, you know, that's like pretty decent. 3 of these will cost you $44.91. I'm sure you can probably find some shelves cheaper somewhere else if you really look for them. Now, here's where it gets interesting. If you're going to build a battery box, You will have some of this wood left over. This is a full piece of 4x8 plywood. It's $31.98, and you only need, if you're getting the mattresses, if you're going to put a piece of plywood on the floor and build a bed for one, then you're going to have to get at least another sheet of plywood. But if one's just going to lay on the floor, what I'd do in that situation, instead of buying another sheet of plywood, I would go ahead and build one bed, the one raised up with the plywood, and I just put a blanket underneath it on the floor, and then you could put your mattress down. If this is a build for one person and not two, you can probably get away with this. And the only other thing I'm worried about is if you're going to build your own battery box, you may need at least another half sheet of this. Okay, I did add a little bit extra in the end for miscellaneous things. You'll see about that. Alright, here's 2x4s. I put 6 2x4s. You may or may not need 6 2x4s, but they're $2.82 each. That's $16.92 for 6 2x4s, 8 foot. The refrigerator. This is what we are thinking about getting. Right now I found one for $258.99. That is way, way cheaper than at Walmart. It's like $270 at Walmart or something like that. So this is, and it's the same one. Exactly the same one. And this is today. So if you can find one for under $300, or $260, $270, it's still way, way cheaper than Walmart. Okay, this is something you don't necessarily have to have, but it's nice to have. We will be getting one of these, using it as a freezer only, and run the microwave to cook things like chimichangas and chicken patties, and chicken fried steak patties, and things like that. You don't have to have this. This is another expense. Now remember, these are things, a lot of these things will be going in my vehicle, and some things I already have. I'm trying to find the cheapest way for a van build for anyone, with basically everything you may need. A way to cook, which I did not put. You can find those cheap Coleman butane stoves, propane stoves for around $20 at Walmart. I did not add this in here because I already had one. I apologize, I forgot all about it. But then again, I'm going to have the microwave in there, so, Here's the beds. Alright. 2 of them is $144.98. And if you only need one, that price drops down to $72.49. So, it all depends on what you need. If you only need one of these to sleep on, you just saved 73 bucks, You don't have to add that in. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Depending on what you're needing, you can do it the hard way or the easy way. It depends on how much you're going to be using your microwave. If you're going to be using a heater at all, I suggest you don't even plug it into this. I suggest you plug it straight into the power inverter. So you can get this, but I'm fixing to show you another way, because this is going to add up with the outlet, the box, and if you have 2 of them, that's going to add up real quick. And the wiring, and that's just 12-2 wire, 25 foot. It's $20.80 just for that. So I'm fixing to jump over here and show you another way to do this. Plus you would have to get a plug, probably 2 plugs for your inverter. So, and there's no guaranteeing these would fit on the inverter. And those are only 15 amp plugs. Here's what you could do. Once again, this is Walmart. These are 15 amp extension cords. There's 9 foot, only 9 foot, which, how big is your vehicle? 2 of these is $14.40. So instead of spending $35, $40, if not maybe a little bit more, getting an electrical box, electrical outlets, plugs for the wire, You could get 2 of these for 15 bucks. This is what I suggest you do if you're not going to be running a microwave all the time, or running, something that pulls super heavy draw. You could use something like this because they are grounded plugs. Here's what I put. Okay, I did not add the microwave in. That's an extra $50. I put $100 for extra stuff like silicone, nuts, bolts, electrical box, faceplates, etc. if you get the electrical box. PVC pipe and glue and cleaner and fittings to make your battery box to where it can fume outside. Okay. Remember, if you did not get the electrical box or the electrical outlets, you don't need those, or the faceplates. You will need silicone. If you're using the nuts and bolts that came with the solar panels, you won't need nuts and bolts. You will need things like drywall screws or nails to put your bed together with, and hang stuff on the wall. So now we're back to here. Now we're fixing to go to what it's going to cost for this build. Remember, if you don't need, if you're willing to drill a hole in the roof of your van, you can subtract $80 from this. If you don't need the little water pump, that's almost $9. If you're willing to get a 5-gallon bucket and put some pipe insulation on it instead of a toilet seat like this one, that's going to subtract money right there too. So that's 15 bucks right there. Okay, so you can subtract that if you're willing to do different things. And like I said, I did not add the microwave. Crud, it did not say for me. Wait, here it is. I didn't even put that there yet. Alright, so here's the total so far. So let's go ahead and just add the 50 for the microwave. $1,441.07. Okay, that's not counting the electrical wiring or the electric box. That's counting the cheap extension cords, the heavy duty extension cords. And remember, if you're willing to drill holes in your van, you can subtract this. So that and the toilet seat is minus $100 right there. If you don't need the water pump, that's another $9 off. If you have someone that can help you with crimping it, that's another $15 off. Basically you're looking at $130 off this price. If you're willing to wrap everything with electrical tape, that's $6.50 off right there. We're looking at minus, I don't know why I did that. I need the calculator here. So you're looking at minus $200 right off the bat. That's with you having solar, 2 batteries. You don't even have to get the shelves. I mean, if you're a single person, you only need the 1 mattress. You can subtract $72.49 from the $144 if you only need 1 mattress. So that takes you down. And let's see, what else can we take down off of this? I suggest getting a fridge, but you don't have to because that's really expensive. Trust me. You don't have to have this if you can find a double sink off Craigslist or something. Hey, you'll have an extra piece of plywood. Just put some legs on it and put a sink on it. You got a sink. And let it drain into a 5-gallon bucket. You don't need shelves, really. I mean, shelves are nice. Look on Craigslist. Find a dresser. I mean, literally, just find a dresser that somebody's given away. And use the drawers and keep stuff in the drawers and just use the top for cooking or whatever you need. and keep all the stuff in the drawers instead of trying to put it on here. People are giving stuff away like that all the time on Craigslist, dressers. So it all depends on you. So your basic build, that's what design like mine is going to be designed with everything I'll have. That includes a microwave, because I added it in, for $1,441.07. That's to go from scratch completely. That includes solar, batteries, bed, all the wood you need to build a bed, 2 mattresses, refrigerator, 12-volt fridge, toilet, power inverter, the fuse for the inverter, all the fittings you need. That includes the PVC pipe you're going to need for the fumes to go out of the vehicle. So, and since I added extra money, plus the silicone I added in there, and since I added extra money for things like, I don't know, $100 for extra stuff like silicone, nuts, bolts, electrical box, faceplates, etc. This was not added into the final, this was actually added into the final cost. But if you don't need the electrical box, faceplates, etc., if you can get your hands on some electrical outlets, that will really help you. If you can find somebody with some PVC pipe, even if it's used, some glue, some cleaner, some fittings, whatever, that'll help you save some money. So your basic build, all right, with the way I'm showing it, with solar, batteries, that's electricity, with the inverter, with the wiring, fuses, and once again, if you're willing to drill a hole through your roof, you can subtract $80.10 right off the bat, which is almost $100. If you add the toilet seat to it, it is $100. Well, it's $15 for the toilet seat. So if you can do without a couple things, or rig up a couple things, if you can find, there's people giving away shelves all the time on Craigslist, metal shelving. Grab one for free. That'll save you some money. But for everything needed to get electricity, I did not add the water, the jugs. Once again, there's extra money. I don't know why I keep opening that. There's $100 extra added into this for things like water jugs, a microwave. Actually, I did add the microwave into that. So $50 for the microwave. If you already have a microwave you can use, 700 watt, you can subtract this total. If you already have a lot of things, you can subtract it from the total. But $1,441.07 is your basic setup for 2 people with a toilet, more or less, a place to sleep, solar, having electricity. That's basically what you need. So the total cost, I'd say, to do your vehicle with everything extra, curtains and things like that. If you're going to get curtains, I don't know. I don't know if you can make them. I don't know if you have stuff around the house that you can use. Your basic build with shelves, bed, for 2 people, a place for 2 people to sleep, is $1,441.07, and that includes having a microwave. I did not count a cook stove, a butane stove. I apologize for that. They run between $18 and $24 at Walmart, so you can add $24 to this, and butane or propane cylinders for that. If you're going to add larger propane tanks and a heater, that's going to be extra expense. Mr. Buddy heaters are like $79, $80. And then the propane tank, you're going to want at least a 20-pound plus the hose. So that's going to add up to another $200 right there. But your basic build, $1,441.07. You can get away with some things. If you don't need electricity, that's almost $400 right off the top. Plus, you won't need the terminals. You won't need the inverter. You know, unless you want to wire the inverter straight up to your battery, like I have mine right now. You know, that's up to you. So anyway, the battery on this camera is fixing to go, which is really sad since I just put them in. And this is your basic van build. So this is basically what you're going to want to have if you want a refrigerator, power, you know, a toilet, beds. And remember, I do not have a high top at all. You have seen my van in some of my videos. Basically, it's something like this. So, you know, this is for 1-2 people living in a van like that. So, and I figured I'd add this up for you because you hear a lot of people ask questions about how much is this going to cost. And my camera restarted. I apologize for the quality. I'm going to have to merge these two videos together, and it really screws up on the video when I do that. Like, the video is clear enough as it is now. So, but around $1,500. Just think $1,500. You get a van. You want to throw some stuff in there. You want a fridge. You want power. You want water. You want a toilet. You want beds. Figure $1,500. Anyway, I'm fixing to go. I have to splice this, and this may be my last video for a while, unless I can think of something else. So that's it. Everyone have a good night.